Welcome back to the CryptoLabs YouTube channel. Today we're going to have a bit of a discussion, a bit of a conversation that has to be had. I have this conversation on a daily or at least weekly basis with members, with clients, and just with people I meet. And this conversation was the catalyst for a lot of my financial growth. But on top of that, the financial growth gave me freedom. I was able to buy back my time, and I was able to do a lot of really incredible things, travel, build businesses, do all this awesome stuff. And I really want to have this conversation with you. I'm going to take a wild guess that you already know this, or at least you feel it, is there is something wrong. There is something wrong with the way we've been told how to attain success, how to attain financial freedom, how to become quote unquote successful, how to get money, how to etc. etc. We've been taught, or at least I was taught, and most of us have been taught, we got to work really, really hard. But if that was true, why do some of the hardest working people, and I was in the blue collar trades for 6-7 years. I worked on the oil rigs, roofing, framing, interior painting, worked at a styrofoam plant, full out line work, like factory work, worked at a trailer park, grew up at a trailer park, started working really, really young, and I didn't have money, ever. And there was other people who made millions of dollars, and they didn't really work for it. They created value in the deals they did, but they didn't really work for it, not the way I was working for it. And I remember at 25, 26 being like, something is really wrong here. I'm missing some key piece of information. I quit the rigs then and there. I did lose my house. I had to sell it to pay off debt because I had no income, but I knew that what I was doing would not lead me to where I wanted to be. And so if I lost everything, so be it, because I knew I'd gain it back in multiples. And this was brought to my attention here on Twitter. I got awesome conversations going on Twitter all the time. I asked, how do you become financially free, basically? How does someone become successful? And I had a lot of the same stuff. And Jeffrey here said, you wake up, you get some sunlight, cold shower gym, meaning take care of yourself, and then work, and then go to sleep. This is how you will get ahead. And I completely disagree with that. I do agree with the waking up part. You got to wake up. I do agree with health. So if that's sunlight, cold shower, gym, food, whatever that means to you, I work out, I have a cold plunge, I have a sauna. I really believe in taking care of yourself. Can you become financially successful without taking care of yourself? Yes, but I don't think you'll enjoy your financial success. And then I would trim down the work, and I would add invest. Because if we don't add invest, and if all we do is work hard, then we'll never get ahead. Inflation and just basic living expenses and the way the system is designed, consumerism, you're never going to get ahead. But if you work less and work more focused, I don't believe in working 14, 18-hour days like I used to anymore. I can get the same amount done in 4 hours. So I'm talking focused work, focused effort. We waste so much time working on stuff that doesn't actually matter, and then invest 50% if you can. If you can't, work till you're making more money, keep your lifestyle the same, and invest the rest. And we all know this, but we don't do it. I get really upset about this because I know 40, 50-year-olds who are still blue-collaring it up. There is nothing wrong with that. But they've never invested a dime, and they're starting to realize I played the game wrong. Again, I think blue collars, it's an actually awesome place to be right now because it's so unvalued and there's such a lack because everyone wants to work on their computers and not work with their hands that I think there's businesses and empires to build in quote unquote the blue collar space. Them guys, every time I'm at a job site or I'm passing some road workers, I roll down my window and thank them. Shake their hand if I can, because if you decide not to show up today, our entire world falls apart. We don't respect those guys and gals as much as we should. That's a whole different conversation. And I did it for 6-7 years, so I get it. But what I'm getting at is if we don't invest, if we don't move that money, and it's why we built this channel, it's why we built the Underdog Investor Group, it's why I do what I do, because once I saw the light and I started investing, and now I'm getting a return back in multiples of the actual time I'm putting in, I was like, why wasn't I taught this when I was 18, 16, 14? I would have been doing this since I was 13. Give me birthday money. I'm going to invest it. Because it buys you the freedom. And all I mean by freedom is it gives you the time to actually deal with the issues that money can't solve, which is us, ourselves. When you look in the mirror, all that crap. And I think humanity is falling apart because we don't have time to work on ourselves because we have to be busy making a living. In fact, the world would go, things would just evolve so brilliantly if people had more time to work on themselves because they think money's going to solve all their problems. It doesn't. I experienced that firsthand. I was more miserable with money than when I was without it because I thought money would solve all my problems. It wasn't until I made the connection that, and I get freaking upset about this because people literally work 40 years thinking they're going to get something, some kind of feeling of happiness or freedom when they get the money, and then they get it and they realize, that wasn't it. And so the sooner we make the connection that money just buys me time, that's the only thing that the only thing that makes money valuable in my eyes is it buys us options and time. Sure, if you love cars, it might get you a car too. That car's not going to make you happy. You get what I'm saying though. But it buys you the time. So you make money, you invest as much of it as you can, you start generating a yield, and that's why I love DeFi because the returns beat traditional finance by like 5 to 10x. And what do you do with that? Because there's no point making a ton of money if you never actually use it or leverage it. Oh, it buys you back your time. And now you can work less or find a vocation that actually pulls at your heart, soul. Maybe you can start a business. Maybe you can spend more time with the family. Maybe you can go hang out at the beach for the rest of your life if that's really what you want, which it probably isn't. We just don't realize that until we're at the beach and being like, I want to do something that serves humanity. But the point is, it's not just work, and then sleep. That's the program I was on for 7, 8, pretty much a decade, because I started working when I was 14, 15, and I quit the job force when I was 25. Work, sleep. Rinse and repeat until you die, and then you're just battling inflation, you'll never win. What if we worked, invested? What if we studied and then worked, and invested? What if we studied money, studied finance, studied DeFi, made that priority, then work, and then invest what we can? And we rinsed and repeated that over 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. The trajectory of your entire financial future and your financial, we call it the freedom line, how long it takes to cross that freedom line compresses drastically. That's the only message I want to send to you today. Please don't fall into the trap and the lies that we've been told. They don't want you to know it because more free individuals means they can work on themselves more, they can think for themselves more, and they can maybe start realizing that this is all effed up and this is not right. That's my message to you. If you're into the educational stuff, I will leave some videos here and here and here and here. Study up. If you feel called to our Underdog Investor Group, it is not just about crypto and DeFi. It's constant financial education, financial planning. I'm so obsessed with this stuff because this leads us to freedom. Again, time freedom. So we can actually do the work on exploring ourselves or exploring possibilities and potentials beyond ourselves that sometimes we just don't have the time to. That's that. I'll leave the videos up here. Like this video, comment if it landed. And with that said, I'll see you in the next. Peace.